Dear Youngstown State. What was that? And by the way, what was this Thanksgiving week? As Deet said in pre-show, everything's back to normal.
I want to say that about rivalry week in general, because what do you mean I'm a game down?
We'll discuss it all when I say, let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, shut up, you bloated seals.
Oh, yeah!
Let's go! Jen, I'll explain the standings in a minute. Boss, kick it.
And welcome to the Manic What in the All Types of Blue Hell Was That Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning.
Which one?
Beautiful.
The Bears are on top of the NFC.
I have a conspiracy about
What
that.
the hell?
I have musings about that also.
I have a conspiracy about that.
I have
Before we get into the musings and the NFC and why the hell Chicago's leading, to clear up the standings, Deets picked up a game on Jen, so she's only 8 ahead in the college, but she hit the magic number in the NFL by whooping everybody's ass.
Oh, yeah.
She's got Boss Man beat. She's now up to a 15-game lead in the NFL.
That is the most evil.
By the way, first
I've
off,
ever heard.
Because I know my tactic from here on out to keep that lead.
Go ahead, dog.
Before we fully get into things, can we just say her going 14 for 18 without a safety net? That's impressive.
That's very impressive. I said to you that she has a talent for it. She's got talent for it. Yeah, Flora.
I still don't think it was good overall.
I guess
because of the fact that taking those risks cost my lead.
So that's the risk we run.
If you went with Ohio State jumping with me on Michigan, you would have been tied with Deets going into Sunday. That's what hurt. But que sera.
Where's my button?
I should have gone with my initial gut and gone with Ohio.
Just wait till the games. Just wait till the college games we pick this weekend.
Exactly on the championship.
The 9 conference championship games. Yeah, that's a cluster. You know what?
Every single conference championship game is broken.
It is.
Here's the thing, though.
I have a question about this.
Jen, I can answer your question. Jen, I'll answer the question you've got. The fence and glass are back for the conference championships.
Let's go!
Okay.
My
we
safety
will
net
get
is
to what
back.
happened. We will get to
I
what
missed
happened
you,
in
fans.
college.
I missed you.
Okay, I'm gonna say this
Jen,
right
you said-
now.
wait a minute. Whoa. Time out. Jen, I say this very, very playfully. You are full of You know that?
What do you mean?
I'm being playful. She says the fence and the glass are back. I missed you guys. You still kicked our ass this
Yeah,
past
exactly.
weekend.
Exactly.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Really?
You got us by you got
Really?
everybody by 2 games overall this weekend. You whooped us on the NFL side.
And you went 14 of 18.
14 for 18.
Which means
And
you only
again,
But I
got.
still lost
Again,
a
let me-
game lead.
Doesn't matter.
Just a moment,
That
just a moment.
averages. That's amazing.
let me just say what I said to Jen a couple of moments ago. I am being very, very playful.
I wish
as
I
I
could
am
go 14 of 18.
as I am with the rest of the crew. But to go 14 for 18, I haven't pitched a game like that in 2 years.
Right.
And here
Also-
comes this rookie who we love dearly and have adopted into the snow crew. She's a very integral part of it. And she goes 14 for 18. A whole lot of you.
That's
Also, I
literally
do-
like throwing 7 innings of perfection.
Yeah.
I also do want to
I
make a
also-
request.
What?
We gotta open up the arcade this week because oh my god, we gotta talk about something in particular that happened at the weekend on Fortnite.
Okay, we'll deal with that.
We'll discuss.
I was saying right now,
Damien
Snowman.
has a question for me. You say to be the man, you got to beat the man. So does this mean Caleb and DJ are the man? No, and
No.
you.
Why? Why?
No, 'cause the
No.
season's not over.
Okay, on that topic
Let me
though.
say that. Let me say this. Damien, yes, you beat the world champions in their house in a regular season game. You want to impress me? Victor, you know my next statement. Do it in January.
Let's see.
Which leads to
Dallas
this, which leads
beat
to my
Dallas
next question.
beat Philadelphia. Dallas
Yeah, we
beat Philadelphia.
Yeah.
What does
And we
that
beat
say?
Kansas
To
City.
my next question.
And we beat Kansas
Dear
City.
Philadelphia Eagles, what the hell was that?
Look,
Dallas beat both Super Bowl.
Yes, we did.
So Dallas
Yes, we
beat
did.
both
In
Super
4
Bowl from
days.
last year. So that means Dallas won the Super Bowl, right? No, they didn't. No, they
No.
didn't.
I will say this.
No,
This
they
led.
didn't.
I'll say this about the Cowboys. They beat both Super Bowl participants.
Yes, we did.
And what impressed me the most, and I'm gonna have bile in my mouth when I say this, but let the truth be spoken. They beat them within 4 days of each other.
I'm gonna say this. This led to a
They beat them
hilariously
within 4 days
playful.
of each other.
This led to a hilariously playful argument in text between me and Snowman because I said, I'll never be able to say this again, but to all you Dak Prescott and Dallas Cowboy haters, shut up. And it within
And I saw said argument.
within
I'm not
30
dead.
seconds. Within 30 seconds,
Vic?
this fool said no.
I did. But kudos to the Cowboys for beating both the Chiefs and the Eagles within 4 days of each other. I'm going to be totally real. Kudos to the Bears for going into Philadelphia, and we'll start there. Kudos to the Bears for going into Philadelphia, socking them in the mouth, and hitting them with 281 rushing yards.
281 rushing yards.
In fact, the Bears had both. I can't pronounce the fellow's name.
Kyle Manangai.
Thank you. Kyle
Manangai.
and DeAndre Swift.
Yep.
Each had 100-yard rushing.
Yep.
I should have started Manangai in my fantasy lineup.
Each of them had 100 yards rushing. And by the way, the set that you see behind me is going to change hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully my new toy gets here and I can switch some things around, especially with my desk.
By the way, speaking of toys there, Stimpy, what you mean you got beaks for Dawn? What are you talking about, Willis?
I'll tell you in a minute. Bears beat the Eagles 24-15. The Cowboys beat the Chiefs 31-28.
That was a good
There's
game.
the case of the blankety blank bleep bleep Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh my God! And why did that happen?
Went into Baltimore and basically walloped the Ravens out of the playoff, 36-14.
And then
Who saw that coming?
And then Buffalo kicked them right back. And then Buffalo kicked the Ravens right back into the playoff.
Yep.
And why was that? Why did that all happen?
Because yes, Aaron, it is.
No, I'm
I was gonna say, like, you know, when we made that pick last week when we all swept on the Ravens.
Yes.
The fact that I said I would rather trust Gold Ship than the Ravens, I think my reasoning has been justified, and you know why my reason has been justified?
We'll play that later.
Because yes, Gold Ship, it is you.
Yes.
Yes,
Gold Ship. It is you.
We'll play that later. I don't want to see I don't want to see Gold Ship's face right now because you know why? Because
you don't want to get 619 by Gold Ship.
Basically, he doesn't want his face kicked in by Gold Ship.
It's already been kicked in by Gold Ship.
He doesn't want to get He doesn't want to get 619, and he doesn't want to see that corkscrew. What is that? Corkscrew clothesline.
Yeah.
By the way, the commissioner still needs to make his UMA pick for Tuesday, and so does Vic.
The commissioner's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
ain't waking up until the commissioner ain't waking up until we get out of here.
I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find the set of ladies right now.
It should be pinned in our Discord chat, Vic.
Vic, if it's not in the Discord chat, check the Facebook one. I posted it there too.
Okay.
I can't find
either one.
Yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. Jen was looking for this. You Gold Ship. We'll discuss Uma Tuesday. Thank you, Deets, for the name. A little bit later. I still got to get a logo for that. I have one. I don't like it. I'll have to put it. Panthers beating the Rams.
If needed, if I can get a bit more Ko-Fi money, I know someone that I could always commission to make us a custom one.
Okay. Panthers, Damien says Panthers is beating the Rams is more shocking than the Bengals beating the Ravens. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'll tell you why. The Ravens are this year. Period. Yeah. I mean, you could if you I have a theory of my own. If people making excuses about the Ravens having a bad year counts, then me making the proper excuse for the 49ers having as many injuries as they are, and they're still winning, by the way, counts as well. So as I said, to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters, you.
I mean, even D-Hen's not saving Baltimore right now.
Where I was saying,
and why did that happen on Thanksgiving?
It got to the point
because yes, Lamar, it is you.
Because yes, Lamar, it is. And Victor, I hate you.
Why?
Because you sent me a message while I was at a Thanksgiving party with my folks, saying that particular phrase.
Yeah.
Yes, Lamar, it is you. And I'm sitting there laughing.
I mean,
let me go to Don first, and we'll go around the board here. What was the most shocking game that you saw this weekend, NFL or college?
Okay.
Honestly, probably the Ohio State-Michigan game. It should have been a lot closer than what it was, given the conditions, and given that rivalry with what Michigan's been doing all season. You'd figure they'd had something for Ohio State, but honestly, Ohio State just came in and walloped them. So I think, honestly, that was probably the surprising game for me. But also seeing Dallas take the absolute crap out of Kansas City.
Yeah,
this is just showing Kansas City's season is over.
Well,
I'm sorry, but you can sit at 6-6.
Upstairs.
You're not going to win out.
I'm gonna say this. That was my surprising game.
I don't think they'll win out either.
That my surprising game of the season was Dallas, because I told you guys that was a troll game, and it turns out it was a troll game for the Chiefs because the Cowboys somehow were able to came to play.
Yes,
and,
you did.
Oh, and guess what? See, you live
I mean,
this weekend.
Here's the thing about that game.
Yeah.
We all thought it was going to suck because Kansas City would be going in pissed off.
Yeah.
It turned into one of the best games of the week.
It really was. It went down to the wire.
Yeah, it did.
It went down to the wire.
It did.
And I have a conspiracy for the Black Friday game. Well, actually, for the Black Friday and the Sunday.
It's Black Friday?
Because the Black Friday game, the Bears beat the Eagles. And then this past Sunday, the Carolina Panthers,
of all teams,
beat the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes, they did.
Which helped the Bears propel them even more to the top seed in the NFC. So
which also helped not only the Seahawks but the 49ers.
Yep. Because I'm telling you right now,
Niners were on a bye this week. Niners were on a bye this week.
Yes, they were.
But by the way, what season are we living in where we have Eminem show up at a halftime show unexpectedly and then Post Malone headlines Dallas? What season are we living in?
I don't know.
Deeds, what was the most surprising game you saw this weekend?
The most surprising was actually the least surprising thing I think we could all see. The Lane Kiffin era ended in a brawl.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
I mean, the Egg Bowl ends with Ole Miss winning and Lane Kiffin saying, "You know what? I'm good. I'm out of here." And that to me is amazing.
We will kick off totally Deeds with that. I'll tell you the most surprising game.
Kiffin's getting what, $12 million in LSU? $12 million a year
for 7 years.
This is why I hate this.
Mm-hmm.
This is just proof that why I hate politicians.
Mm-hmm.
The LSU governor in front of the Louisiana State Senate,
right,
said, "We're not going to do these big contracts. We're not going to do that. We're going to get the best guy." And you know what you did? You went out and you gave the biggest contract in the history of college football coaching. So everything you said a month ago was a lie and an absolute garbage.
The hypocrisy is
just
real.
remember. Hang on. Just remember what Willie Nelson said when it comes to politicians. Don't give them Viagra; they just get taller.
Okay, I'm gonna make it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make a joke to Snowman. He's gonna get it immediately. The opposite of pro is con, so that much is clearly seen. So
if progress means move forward, then what does Congress mean? Thank you to the late great Nipsey Russell for that limerick. And he did that on one of my favorite game shows.
Yep.
Note on that later. The most surprising game I saw this weekend was Yale and Youngstown State in an FCS
underrated.
That was underrated.
Youngstown.
You probably should have had that as a pick. Youngstown
State led at halftime, and I'm not making this up, folks, 35-7. And I'll make a George Carlin reference, and Victor will get this right away.
Okay.
399,993.
Yep.
To 7.
to 7.
And of course, he was talking about he was doing this reprise act of the 7 dirty words, which we talked about in pre-show. 35-7 at the half. I lay down and take a nap. Even with Ohio State beating the hell out of Michigan, even with the Egg Bowl students beating the hell out of each other, I come back and they're talking about the biggest comeback in FCS playoff history, and my spider senses went completely off because Yale came all the way back and won the game 43-42.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a second half.
Let me repeat myself. I'm gonna get the stats up for that.
Oh, by the way, Vic, you were talking about that should have been a pick. We've got all 9 conference championships to pick from for Thursday, and there's a few of them with teams no one's heard of.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Mountain West being one of them.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so the conference championship games are going to be very interesting.
What did Deets say at the top of the show? We're going to go to break with this, and we'll come back with him. What did Deets say at the top of the show? Every conference championship game is broken. And
is broke.
Yep.
It's broken and sent to hell.
Yep.
That's where
that's what we live for.
We'll explain in a deuce.
We will definitely explain. I got caffeine in me now, so I can run around here and do.
And I'm gonna say one more thing. I thought you guys were playing Indianapolis, not Montreal, because I'm gonna say right now the Colts got screwed.
I ain't talking about that.
That was bad.
I will have this statement and this statement only. The Colts got screwed the entire game against Houston.
I still want to know. I would still want to know how that extra point went through.
I don't know how it went through. That'll be tomorrow. I'll save that for tomorrow.
I have no idea.
And by the way, I do have, before you go to break, boss, there is a second game that I saw that was a bit surprising. Atlanta and the Jets.
Oh,
where did that come from?
That was a thriller and a half.
You know what? I'll classify Atlanta and the Jets like this. And thanks to the great urinating tree for this term. Tank Bowl.
A tank bowl that was actually good to watch.
That was a really good game.
Not for me, it wasn't.
That was a really
Not
good
for
game.
me, it wasn't.
But there's a reason why I said
that game was full of shit.
There's a reason why.
Well, that's because you and the commissioner are both the same. Cynical.
Right. Well, there's a reason why I said that the Colts got screwed. And it really comes out to one play. CJ Stroud waits 3 seconds after the play clock hits 0 to snap the ball.
To get the snap. Yeah, I saw that.
Throws it to a person who falls down. No one is around him.
Mm-hmm.
And they throw a pass interference flag, which then turns to a touchdown.
That's just one of many.
I was like,
no. Let me throw some kudos to the Jets for not laying down and dying and competing, and kudos to Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Let me just say that out loud. So Ryan doesn't beat me up. Now, in all seriousness, that was a good game in the Meadowlands.
So is it just me, or is every team that Justin Fields goes on, he always has to play second fiddle to somebody else? He can never be a starter.
He was playing second fiddle at Georgia, for God's sakes. Then Ohio State.
Fiddle at Georgia.
He was Ohio. Somehow he wound up being the starting quarterback at Ohio State. Mm-hmm. He gets drafted by the Bears and gets beat to hell.
Then he becomes second fiddle to, of all people, Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited, I'll get to. You know what? I'm going to do a private thing on Russell Wilson because it'll involve cuss words.
Oh yeah.
And thanks to all the stations that have picked us up this morning and continue to pick us up. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
When we come back, all the conference games are broken so bad LeBron James would be happy that his jump shot isn't as broken as these conference games.
These conference games are more broken than the NBA Cup.
These conference games are more broken than James Harden's hairline.
Oh.
And his jump shot.
These games are more broken than LeBron James's hairline.
Oh.
These games are more broken than Gerard Mayo.
Stop.
These games are more
broken than Robert Kraft doing a kegger.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jen.
Go ahead, Jen.
These conference games are more broken than V. Shoujo's moral trust.
Stop.
Yow!
We get totally teased.
We get back.
In a deuce.
Wait.
No.
Time. Halt. He says, hold the phone. Stop. Penalty flag on the field.
Timeout.
Jen, repeat that statement, please.
Timeout, Chicago.
These conference games are more broken than V. Shoujo's morality.
These conference games are more broken than V. Shoujo on prom night.
All right, that's enough.
Back in the deuce.
Now we're back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
God!
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
'Cause we take this job so serious.
I don't have a suggestion as to anything but keep the bitch. Keep her. If she does not,
Wow. What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Gotta love Allie pulling that one on us.
That line gets me every single dadgum time.
And all you see is me at the top just applauding, like, yep, that's how this all starts.
And all you see is me breaking in laughter. 29 after the hour. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning on this Broken Championship Monday.
Broken Championship Monday.
I'm sorry.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, not at all.
Oh, gosh. Let's get totally deets.
Passion.
Do it!
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance!
Deeds.
not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
What we have here is a classic case of who done it.
No, what we have here is a classic case of the NCAA and them graybeards drinking too much.
You know what? They had too much vodka. They had too much vodka and bourbon.
Vodka! We drink! We drink! Damn it!
Jen?
No, you know what? I can do this properly. You know what they had? They had too much vodka.
Vodka! We drink!
We drink.
Now,
okay, Dee had a statement at the top of the show, which totally applies. Every conference championship game, all 9 of them are broken. And I'm going to let Deets have the floor to explain it. Take it.
Well, this isn't something that just happened. This has been brewing, and this has been bubbling up for a long time in college football. And finally, the pot's boiling over, because this has been what this is a symptom of is conferences are too big. They're too big. Teams don't play each other, and so there's no way to figure out who's supposed to be where. And we talked about this on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. What happens in the college football playoff when 12-0 Indiana meets 12-0 Ohio State? One of those teams is going to walk away 12-1. Does a team that is already 11-1, do they pass Ohio State? Do they pass up the loser of that game? I mean, that doesn't seem fair.
No, it ain't.
You look at it, so you look at it just from that angle. How do they work out what happens to the loser? And as I said on Wednesday, if nothing happens to the loser, if someone wins that game and gets the number 1 seed, and the loser gets the 4 seed, and they both still end up getting buys, why the hell are we playing the game?
Right.
If there's no consequence to it, why even play the game? Just move on, let the game go. Then you have the whole other can of worms in the SEC.
Yep.
Where all 4 top teams are both 7-1 in the conference. How they decided that Georgia is going to play Alabama, how the SEC came up with that, I would love to know what their metric was for that one. Because, as I said, as anybody who looks at that says, well, Alabama beat Georgia. Georgia beat Ole Miss. Ole Miss and Texas A&M didn't play any of the other teams. So try to figure that out. If you go by the top ranked, well, Texas A&M was the top ranked team in the conference.
Yep.
They lost to Texas. So, they had one loss to a pretty good team. So did they fall that far down that things happen? But that's besides the point, because yes, the winner of the SEC championship game will probably get into a bye week. The big question is going to be what happens to the loser of that game. Are they still in the playoff?
It seems to be the case for all the Big Four conferences, isn't it? What happens to the loser of the conference championship game?
Yeah. Last year we saw it. SMU lost in their championship game, but it didn't hurt. They still got to go to the college football playoff.
Right.
But we saw what happened. They played an extra game, and SMU ended up going from having a bye to having to go on the road to Penn State to play again. Is that going to happen let's just say Alabama, let's just say Georgia beats out, even just to make it more chaotic. What if Alabama beats Georgia again? Does Georgia all of a sudden, does Georgia now fall below Ole Miss and Texas A&M? Because they would have 2 losses. Both those teams would only have 1, but they didn't have to play an extra game.
Right.
That's the other thing is, again, we're seeing Georgia and Alabama again. It's like,
I mean, this is like watching Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the trillionth time. Who the hell cares?
Or John Cena versus Randy Orton.
I mean, and I would love to know. I would love to know what the metric was that they used to figure that out. I would assume that they just said, you know what, Georgia and Bama, those are the 2 teams everybody wants to see. Let's put them in.
Who really wants to see Alabama at this point?
Who's booking this stuff? Triple H?
That's that's what they're doing. They're doing what's best for business. I mean that's what they do. That's what they do.
Okay.
That's what they
do. Hey Pizzle, I love you. Who booked this crap?
So again, it goes back
and then Ryan McCarthy, just a moment, Victor, and then Ryan McCarthy backs it up with Godzilla versus King Kong again.
Yeah, it goes down to, is the fix in? Because Georgia and Alabama are 2 big money teams, 2 big money schools.
I mean,
how does
I mean,
that's how you have to look at it.
How does A&M get bounced? How does A&M get bounced out completely? And Ole Miss is just sitting right there. I mean, Ole Miss's 1 loss was to Georgia. Yeah, Alabama beat Georgia earlier, but they also lost to Oklahoma. So you can't say, Alabama has they don't have the worst loss. Well, what are we talking about?
Right.
So what are we talking about when it comes?
At the end of the day,
and then you throw in the complete.
At the end of the day, isn't it about ratings?
It would assume so, but then you go to the ACC where somehow Duke is in the championship game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, who could possibly care?
You just answered a question that I had, Deets. Why the hell was A&M, as I heard Sean McDonough say during the Texas A&M broadcast on Friday, a loss and A&M is out of the SEC championship game? How is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know how that was possible. I mean, I would have thought A&M, if they had won, obviously they would have been undefeated. I thought even with a loss, they're not going to drop that far. But apparently they did. Apparently the SEC. I mean, if you went by any metric, Texas A&M should have been the number 2 team. I don't understand why they're not. Now, but where do they go? Where does that put them in the pantheon of things? Like, where does that put them in the order?
Right.
Because you have a big problem because you can't put Texas A&M lower than Notre Dame.
Right. And there's your ultimate wild card for the 2nd straight year.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
It's Notre Dame.
The ultimate wild card. I said it last year, and I said it at the top of this season. The ultimate wild card is rearing its head again, and that is the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Yep.
That's why I've said if you're one of these big schools, I mean, if you're Alabama, if you're Texas, if you're USC,
oh God,
if you're one of those schools, get out of the conference and go independent.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no reason to be in a 16-team conference when you can become independent. you can play some of these conference teams. You can play you can handpick the rest of your schedule.
Right.
And you'll make the playoff every year. That's what people used to say. Oh, if you just get into a big conference, you'll make the playoff. Now it's the exact opposite. If you get out of these conferences and you just make your own schedule, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And for people that say, oh, financially, if you don't think there's any network, any of these streaming services, if you don't think they would pay out the nose to have USC football, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Texas could do the same thing. Alabama could do it. Georgia could do it. Any of these big name college football programs could go independent and survive.
Georgia has the perfect network for that. TBS.
Yes, they do. Billionaire
Georgia could. I mean, anybody could. Anyone can. I mean, and TBS, which is owned by HBO Max, which. I mean, they're already trying to get football. They're trying to get football. They have a game every Saturday. They would pay out the nose to have Georgia football.
Yeah.
On their network every Saturday, every game exclusive. It would be huge. The question is, would it be the same number that they get from the SEC contract? After the SEC is split up 16 ways, they could get a reasonable contract out of that. And how would that fund the rest of their sports? That's where it would come down. But again, if you want to make the playoff, go independent. Just be independent.
Might as well.
You don't have to play a championship. You don't even have to play on Championship Saturday. So you get essentially, and if you're worried about a bye week, you get 2 bye weeks right then and there, and then we're into the college football where we're into the playoff, which doesn't start till December 20th. So you basically have a month off.
Right.
I mean, seriously, Notre Dame is off now, and they're also going to be off next week when Army-Navy plays. They're going to be well rested going into the playoffs.
Yep. Right. And they're going to get,
which makes them dangerous.
And they're going to get a home game. They're going to get a home game.
Just like last year, they got a home game.
I mean,
and you know what? You know what's going to happen? I believe this to happen. You know who Notre Dame will face in the first round once again? Indiana.
Try me.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana.
Oh God, that would be insane.
If they drop Indiana from the number 1 seed all the way down to having to go on the road week 1, that would be, I wouldn't put it past the committee, but that would be amazingly harsh. You play an entire undefeated season,
and then you lose,
to the other undefeated team,
and then you get dropped that
drop 8 spots.
Now, here's the problem, though. Here's the boss. Let me
from the Indiana standpoint. If you lose to Ohio State, and I'm thinking the way this corrupt, effed up, messed up committee thinks, you lose to Ohio State, they get that blank material, Ohio State, then they drop Indiana to play Notre Dame.
If that were to happen,
here's the thing.
In Indiana, it would be if Notre Dame, they were setting up a Notre Dame Indiana matchup, Indiana would have to be the home team.
They would have to.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. You want to know how screwed up that would be? That would be a pure ratings grab by the gray wigs up in the NCAA. That's all it would be.
It would.
And that's what's dangerous is all the gray wigs at the end of the day are looking at is what can get us ratings. Notre Dame, Indiana would be a bonanza box office to open up the first round.
But
Think about it.
Okay, I asked Chris this question.
Okay.
Matter of fact, Deech, you posted last year when you said, quote, what if Notre Dame runs the table, goes undefeated, and then your answer was they can do no better than the 5th seed, even though they ran the table, they beat everybody in front of them. So what happened last year? Notre Dame is a lower seed because they lost to Northern Illinois at home, and the Grey Wicks, remember, good God, they have a long history.
Right.
What do you think the seed for Notre Dame dates will be this year for them?
I think they can only go up to 6. I think the highest they can go is 6.
That's crazy.
I know.
But I mean the committee can do whatever they want. Which last year there was a reason for playing these championship games because they said conference champions get buys. So teams were playing to get that bye week.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened
now it don't matter.
What happened is Boise State snuck in there and got a bye, and the NCAA said, no, we're not having this. We're not doing this for Boise States of the worlds anymore. We're not doing this. We want the big dogs to have the bye week. And that's why they scrapped it at the end of the at the beginning of this season. That's why they said, oh, it doesn't matter anymore. We're just going to pick the 4 best teams. Well, now you've opened it up to the corruption that Shane's been talking about of, hey, how can we manipulate these matchups? How can we make this work? And it's all sorts of crazy because they want to have like a college basketball feel to it. Yep. But you can't do that with football. There's a reason why the NFL playoffs reseed every single round. They reseed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're Ohio State and you get the number 1 seed, you're guaranteed to play the lowest seed that comes out.
Yep.
That's not how college football wants it to be. They want it to be like college basketball, where if the 12 seed upsets, well, they just move on in the bracket, and you might end up with the 4 seed now having the best road to the championship. Well, that's not how football should work. Football should be reseeded each and every way down the road, so that the top team has the best path there because they earned it.
Right.
But that being said, I mean, we talked about Notre Dame. I mean, there's no way like I said, there's no way Texas A&M can be ranked lower than Notre Dame.
No way, because Texas A&M beat Notre Dame.
Because they beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame. In Notre Dame Stadium.
In South Bend. They beat him in front of Touchdown Jesus on a walk-off.
Yeah. So you cannot justify it to me to say, oh, well, Notre Dame, since then, Notre Dame has spanked everybody, and so we're going to move them up. Oh, but because Texas A&M lost their last game of the season, we're gonna all of a sudden rank them lower. So A&M has to be at least the 5 seed. If they don't maintain their bye, which could happen. I don't know how they're going to figure this out, because A&M's not playing. A&M is done. They're sitting at home. They're going to watch Indiana and Ohio State settle things on the field. They're going to watch Georgia and Alabama play an SEC championship game, which, if Alabama were to win, that throws all more chaos into it, because Alabama is number 10.
Mm-hmm.
So are you telling me if they beat Georgia for a second time, their 2-loss team is going to jump over a 1-loss Indiana, a 1-loss Texas A&M, a 1-loss Ole Miss, they're going to jump all them because they won a conference championship. What are we doing? And then
may as well put this in the equation: a one-loss Ohio State.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a one-loss. Whoever loses in the Big 12 championship game, is Alabama going to jump them if they win the SEC? I don't know how they're going to rate that. I mean, we know they're going to get in, but are they going to move up enough? Who's Virginia or Duke going to replace? What if Duke beats Virginia? Are you going to put an unranked team in the college football playoff just because they won a sorry ACC?
Let's go there.
They wouldn't have a choice. They really wouldn't have a choice.
Let's go to the ACC. Let's go to the ACC. And I know Deets has been wanting to tear this conference up for a long time. Tell me how in the Vita Blue hell are the Duke Blue Devils and the Virginia Cavaliers playing for the ACC championship?
Well, we know Virginia earned their way. Virginia earned their way there because they're the only team in the conference with one loss in conference play. So they've earned their spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I have no idea how they picked Duke. And maybe they just set them up and threw a dart at the board and said, "All right, that's the team that gets it."
Maybe they got tired of Georgia Tech pulling off miracles. I don't know.
But Georgia Tech. Well, Georgia Tech lost it when they lost.
Well, then does that mean Georgia Tech's loss really? Yeah.
When they lost,
I was about to say, how big are Georgia Tech's losses looking now?
When Miami beat Pitt on Saturday, that threw them in the mix. SMU losing to Cal, that blew everything out. If SMU just took care of business against Cal, they would have been in. But they got a second. But then they get a second loss, so they're lumped in. Then you throw somehow Duke was just still surviving at the bottom, but they're the bottom of the list. I don't understand how they selected them. I would have thought they would go with Miami because who wouldn't want to see the U in a championship game? Who wouldn't want to see the U with a chance with a playoff shot on the line? If the ACC was going to do anything in the playoff, they probably would have needed Georgia Tech or Miami to get in to even have a shot, and they could have. And winning the ACC would put them in. And like Shane said, do they even have a choice? Do they have a choice? Because it's not guaranteed. Hey, you won your conference, you're in. It's not conference is not a guarantee anymore. So if Duke is unranked going into this and they beat Virginia, would they end up going, even though they're not even one of the top 25 teams they could get in?
I mean, the Grey Wigs may not have a choice about it because who else would there to be to represent the ACC? I mean, honestly, it's that bad.
McCarthy throws this into the equation. I think Eats just mentioned it. Want to really spice things up? If Duke wins, replace the ACC spot with a group of 4 conference winner. Hi, James Madison.
James Madison would get in no matter what. If they win their conference title game, I think they're going to get in no matter what.
I believe so.
Because to answer Ryan's question, there is a provision that says you have to have the 5th highest ranked conference champion in, which means a group of 5 team is going to get in. And who that team's going to be? It's going to be either James Madison, who could win. I think the Sun Belt.
Yep,
I think so. Yes,
and it's either going. The only other option would be the American Athletic Conference, which is a mess altogether because you have North Texas, Tulane, and Navy all finishing 7-1, and somehow Navy got left out of this.
How?
And you could say, oh, because they lost to North Texas, so North Texas would be higher. I don't see why that's not why they don't have a rematch going on. I don't know how Tulane got in over Navy. I don't see it on Tulane's schedule. But I don't know where they picked it. It's again, like they threw names at a dartboard and said, hey, let's just go with these guys.
How did Navy get left out of
one word, ratings.
How did Navy?
I'm going to say it's ratings.
That doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. I mean, ratings doesn't apply. If you think Tulane is going to bring more people to more eyes than the Naval Academy, no way. No way. The Naval Academy.
So then maybe
across the board, every naval officer ever served would be watching a conference championship game with the Naval Academy in it.
Okay, then let's put it this way. Is it the fact that the Army-Navy game is hurting Navy overall with this? Because they've yet to play that. Could that also be an issue?
I think that could. I think that could have played into the fact that they said, "Oh, well, Navy's got the Army-Navy game, so we'll put them over there." But if that's the case, then don't put them in don't put them in the conference. Don't put them in the conference, and don't put the Army-Navy game a week after conference championship game. I mean, but that's neither here nor there because Army was in the American Athletic Conference Championship game last year. So Army did the same thing. They went on, they won the conference championship, and then they still had to play the Army-Navy game the next week. So wouldn't be the first time that they've been in a conference championship game.
And it would have been so chaotic had Navy been in the conference championship game, as it goes back to a point that Dietz made a couple weeks ago. Dietz, I'm going to mute you for a quick second. That Navy can win the American Conference Championship, have a spot in the playoff, and yet still wind up being a 2-loss team if they lost to Army. It expounds on that point for Dietz. So now you take that out of the equation and you insert Tulane and North Texas playing for the American Conference Championship game, not even taking a look at Navy. Dietz?
And it goes even further, and I so want to see this happen just so we can have the headlines of if we have the Big 12 championship game with Texas Tech and BYU.
Mm-hmm.
If BYU doesn't win that game, they could get jumped by whoever wins the American Athletic Conference, and it could be Tulane, which their starting quarterback, Jake Ratzlaff, was at BYU before he was kicked out of school. Kicked out by BYU. So he transfers to Tulane, and now he could kick BYU out of the conference, out of the college football playoff. It's a wild turn of events. But these are the things that we're talking about. These conferences are too big. They're too big. If you just shrink these conferences down to 10 teams in each conference, they all play each other. We don't need Championship Saturday anymore. It's not necessary, especially if you're going to make it, hey, we're just going to pick the top 4 teams. You don't need a Big Ten champion. You don't need an SEC champion. All you need is you could have 2 SECs. You could have 20 teams in the SEC. 2 separate divisions of 10 teams each. Well, whoever wins their division, you're in the college football playoff, and we'll let the playoffs decide it. That's the way to go here.
Here, let me ask this question then, Deets. Let me ask this question then, Deets. You shrink the conferences to 10 teams, which I totally agree with. Do you bring back the Southwest Conference?
You could. I mean, you could rename that. I mean, they should. The Big 12 should take that name anyway, because they're already the Southwest. They're already the Southwest Conference with the additions of Arizona and Arizona State, Utah, and then you've got the Texas teams. So they're already the Southwest Conference. They could easily rebrand and make sense when you're not the Big 12 because there's 16 teams in your conference.
Dog, you had a question.
Now, here's the thing then. If we get rid of the conference championship week, does that mean we just push rivalry week back 1 week and say, hey, let's just do it that way and have an extra week in the regular season?
No, I think you keep everything the way it is right now. I think you move up. You move up the playoff. If you get rid of the conference championship week, you could move. You could be playing Army Navy this week, and have the first round of the playoff next week. You know, not this weekend, but the following weekend. You could have that be the first round of the playoff. You could move the playoff. It doesn't have to go till December 20th. It could be right then and there. You don't have this extra game, so the teams don't need time to recover. So you basically you're basically taking the conference championship and saying, instead of that, we're going to do the first round of the playoff. And that way, because if you make it 10 teams, if every conference has 10 teams in it, 9 games are against your conference or division rivals, and it's settled on the field. We already seen the games. We've already seen every team play each other. If teams are tied, we can go to head-to-head matchups. We don't have this situation where, Georgia played Alabama, Georgia played Ole Miss, but they didn't play Texas A&M. No, they would have played everybody, and we would have been able to sort it out that way. And, tiebreakers, you can always go down the line, but that would be the first immediate tiebreaker. Everyone has a head-to-head matchup, so it would work out more times than not. But the way we do it now, 16 teams, there's no way 16 teams can play each other. It's impossible. That was the whole point in the SEC starting the conference championship. They started it because they had to break into divisions and they wanted their 2 divisions to play each other. But the divisions always played each and every team, and the winner of the divisions, 2 division winners met. But now with 16 teams, you cannot do that. The way college football is set up, you can't do it by division anymore.
You
either have to shrink the conferences or make them all the same, all 20 with 20 teams, so that everybody's playing the same amount of games. It's the only way to do it.
Welcome some people in the Fanatics feedback zone. Napoleon Jonomite is here. A Pizzle is here. CW Boo 24. A man Sick Diggy from Norway. A Pizzle in the house, along with Ryan McCoffey, Napoleon again. Andy Dandy Lover 67 made a music request of me. We will see if we have time to do that. The Birchwood Vampire is here with us. Devon Hernandez is here with us as well. Damien's been chatting it up with us, and Damien says, if you shrink the conferences down to 10 teams, how would that be fair for an unknown college that is trying to make their way to becoming a well-known school, say like App State or Bowling Green? Deets, I'll let you answer that before we go to break.
It makes it much easier. It makes it easier for them. If they're in one of these already designed divisions, they can. If they win their division, they're in the college football playoff. I mean, you would look at App State. They would probably be in a conference with Virginia, with the North Carolina teams, with probably some, South Carolina and Clemson would get thrown in. And it would be how you divvy up which way they go. That would be the NCAA figuring this thing out, but it wouldn't hurt them. It would actually help them. And if you did it that way, if you did it in a way that you allowed divisions or I call them divisions because I don't want to call them conferences anymore because the conferences are just too big. If you implemented like a European football, like the Champions League, how they do it. If your team is garbage and doesn't win a game, well, you're no longer in. We're going to pick from one of these teams that doesn't have a chance. We're going to bring them up in a couple. We'll bring them up for a couple years, see how they do, and then reevaluate it later. That's the fair way to do it.
Yeah.
But the NCAA is not about being fair. The NCAA is about what can we do to make the most money. But right now, I think they're hurting themselves by doing this. They're hurting themselves, and the coverage of this it's going to be slanted in the direction of this is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Yep. We saw last year.
Disaster to college football.
We saw last year because it was unfair when they expanded it, and they expanded it to 12 teams. 4 teams got a bye, and all 4 teams that got a bye got their ass kicked. So
yeah,
there's more to this, and throughout the course of the week, we'll have Deets on board to help break this down and repair the doggone thing. Coming up next, the team that just will not go away. And Cleveland found out the hard way. Second hour, Snowman in the Morning, introduce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete.
Join these 2 football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
From the hills of Santa Clara to the legacy of the stick, this is where red runs deep and greatness wears gold. 40 plus years of fan, 30 years in the booth, and now it's personal. The 49ers like you've never heard them before. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Hosted by Brian Snow, each week you will get a recap of the game that just happened and the game that will happen. All the stats, facts, and figures, all the fun notes, fan chats, and everything else you could put into 30 minutes. This is That 49ers Show on Snowman Sportsnet. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Cause we take this job so serious.
What are we doing?
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
I got to find something here. I found it. 11 after the hour. We owe you some IDs. I think.
You're listening to
Maybe.
WJSDB, your Hoosier Sports Home and Indiana Sports Hub play-by-play voice. You're listening to WHDR-DB, your radio home and voice of the Carolinas. You're listening to WBWS-DB, your new Chicago Sports Hub radio voice.
And thank you to the folks at Mission Radio 1700 down in Alabama for picking us up, WIRU in Chicago. And there are a couple of others that are flirting with us and wanting to pick up our show.
Now, before you get into San Fran being the team that just won't quit and sounds like there's $6 million in the bank rebuilding themselves, I noticed something interesting about some of the conference championships.
All right, what you got for me?
Okay, first off, the TV schedule is screwed up. They've got Georgia and Alabama on at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
4 o'clock, yes.
And they've got Duke, Virginia on at 8 o'clock going head-to-head against Indiana, Ohio State. Who thought that was a good idea?
Duke, Virginia needs to be behind a paywall. I'll suggest it.
Now,
Duke and Virginia.
Let me give.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Here's the second thing. Georgia, Indiana, and Duke are the road teams, right? Look where they're playing.
Georgia's playing in Atlanta. Duke is playing in Charlotte.
Indiana's playing. Indiana's playing
at home.
Exactly. Look how screwed up this is.
Bloomington is 3 hours away from Indianapolis.
I'm definitely out the loop. How is it screwed up?
Okay,
because the road teams are technically playing at home.
Right.
Let me explain.
Georgia's playing in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. Georgia's playing in Atlanta, Georgia. Indiana's playing in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And Duke is playing in Charlotte, North Carolina. Duke
technically
Durham is an hour away. Duke is 3 hours away from Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Bloomington's only a few hours away from Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Right.
And Athens ain't that far away from Atlanta.
Athens is 90 minutes away from Atlanta.
There's an Athens in the U.S.
There's Athens.
There's a few of them.
There's at least 3 of them. I think there's at least 3 of them.
The one I know of is
next
Athens,
thing.
The only thing they got right is Texas Tech is playing in Texas.
Yes.
Next
As
thing
the
I know,
home
you're
team.
gonna tell me there's a London in the U.S.
Actually, there
probably
is.
There is.
There's two of them that I know of. Listen, Jen, there's 2 of them that I know of in North America. One of them is London, Ontario, which is north of the border, north of us. The other is a small town I went through on my way down to North Carolina when I lived there the first time. That's London, Kentucky.
You guys are never gonna beat the original London here in England.
We don't want to.
Obviously not.
Now.
But tell me that that's not completely screwed up. The road teams are technically playing at home, which means they would have such a huge advantage.
Well, listen, I was about to say the Georgia Dome. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is going to, I know they're going to have
the Silver Dome, brother.
Shut up. I know they're going to have patches of Alabama fans, including the band and stuff like that. But come on. 74,000 seats in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and 3/4 of them are going to be barking.
No, I mean
easily.
the way they dole out the tickets, it'll be a 50-50 split. That's the way they dole out most. I mean, it'll be as far as the fans, it'll be 50-50, and then you have all the sponsors and all their stuff. The sponsors will, they gave their tickets away. They'll bring in people, so it might skew a little bit, but it's not gonna skew that much as far as fans go.
True, especially with the SEC championship,
especially the way Alabama's lived in the SEC championship. So their fans are not. It's not like that's something unusual to them.
They're a borderline permanent fixture.
Yeah, they're used to making they're used to making that trip.
But here's the thing.
Just a moment. I have a trivia question for Dietz. Let me test his knowledge and see if he remembers, and I'm banking that he will. In what city was the SEC championship born? Where was the first one played?
The first SEC championship game. I want to say Louisiana.
Not even close.
It must have been in Florida. It must have been in Florida. I know it was Florida and Alabama.
Ryan just got the question. It was a city that is both in the U.S. and in England, Birmingham, Alabama, Legion Field. They turned Legion Field into a party zone because I watched the first SEC championship game. They turned Legion Field into a party zone. Speaking of championship games,
that was Alabama and Florida.
Speaking of championship, you know something? I have to do something important. While I pull this up, I have a championship game Victor will be interested in.
Oh,
yeah, you're gonna love this one.
Okay.
The IHSA 7A championship game to be played next weekend. They didn't play it this weekend because of snowstorm.
Did you see the games?
Yeah. I'll tell you one that I'm going to do from here.
Okay.
Next Saturday, they're going to play the game in normal. Of course, the IHSA TV has broadcast rights, but I got alternative broadcast rights. It's St. Rita and Brother Rice for the 7A championship.
Again.
Yes.
Chicago's version of Ohio State and Michigan, or Alabama and Georgia.
And we've
Brother Rice and St. Rita.
And we've called a few of those games.
They're insane. They are insane every time.
It's nuts. Here we go. This is the person I'm looking for. And I told a dear friend of mine that I would start doing a live read and I would clip it and send it to her, because there's a mutual friend of Victor's and I that is going through treatment of a brain tumor. His name is Chris Hilliard. You remember Chris because he worked with us when we covered Brother Rice. He's going through aggressive treatments right now.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find where I was going to do my live read, because if I try to find it on my computer, it'll start acting crazy, and I don't want to do that. Here it is. Put it up. Doggone it. There's an event that's going to be on March 1st in Chicago called Climb for Chris. And the bio reads as follows. Chris was diagnosed with a brain tumor in September 2024. Since then, he has been in an active and aggressive treatment, traveling weekly out of state for these treatments. These trips come with steep costs, including last-minute flights, hotels, meals, car rentals, etc., which add up quickly. Please support Chris, a graduate of Brother Rice of 2009, as well as the Crusaders' former head lacrosse coach, on this ongoing battle by becoming a member of the Hilly Army. Let's fight alongside Chris. The benefit fundraiser is set for March 1st in Chicago. It's located at 115 Bourbon Street, which is 3359 West 115th Street in Marionette Park. It goes from 2 to 6 p.m. And I and my wife are going to try to make that. And I know I'm going to get an assist from Michelle Hilliard, but Chris is very, very dear to me. He's dear to us here at the station. Give me this camera.
Take it.
Chris is very dear to myself, our late friend Alvin Washington, to Victor, and to everybody in Chicago who knows the fun rivalry that is Brother Rice and St. Rita or Marist. Anyone who comes in contact with Chris immediately takes to him, and they love him dearly.
Yes.
And Chris has been very, very dear to me. And to see him go through this is awful.
Yeah.
I talked with his mom, Michelle, recently, and I told her, I said, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to make it, even with it being in March. And she said she would lend an assist so we can get up there. So what I'm going to do beginning tomorrow is put a link down below where you all can support and join the Hilly Army, in which the folks here on the panel are a part of and will be a part of, because we want to see Chris healed up, want to see him back on his feet, and we want to see him coach again if he has the strength to do so, and we want to see him be not only a proud husband again, but a proud father again. So y'all do me a favor. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link up tomorrow, but if you want information, reach out to me. All right. Like I said, I didn't get time to put the graphic into the truck. I'll do that tomorrow as well. But we want to help Chris Hilliard. Okay. Again, Chris Hilliard, very, very dear to us. So we want to help him as much as we can. So tomorrow you will see the graphic for the bash, and you will also see a link down below where you can either contribute to Hilly's Army or purchase a ticket if you're in Chicago, and let's go see him. Let's like make Chris whole again, so he can be here with us and be here with his family. I've been meaning to do that. And I'll tell you what, Chris is, I say this very playfully, Chris is crazy because he always had us laughing.
Yes,
saying something, and Damien with the prayer emojis. Thank you, Damien. Victor, how many times?
Breathe, boss.
I don't know. This is special to me. Victor, how many times were we in the
we get it.
Were we in the? How many times were we in the Crusader Coliseum with the Crusader crazies acting a fool?
I mean, the two moments that I still remember.
Yeah.
They do both. Well, one is the football part, one is the basketball part. So the football one was one of my first games that I did at the Coliseum, and they had brought in extra bleachers.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are we extra bleachers? Because one, it was raining, and two, it was cold. So I'm like,
it was a playoff game, 2005, and they were playing the number one team in the state in Lincoln Way East.
And I'm like, okay, I don't think they're going to be able to sell this out because it's too cold. Within 15 minutes, I looked at Snowman and said, Snowman, full.
And that was one of the first times I uttered the words, holy catfish.
Yes.
We were not on the air at the time, but that was one of the first times I uttered the words, holy catfish.
And like I said, the second one was a basketball one. This was our first City Square Bridge showdown. It was
the Brian Harrigan show.
Yeah, it was Brother Rice, and I think it was Aurora.
It was St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. So it was Brother Rice, St. Joseph, and then Aurora shows up for the second game because there's two games. There's one city and one suburban game.
Mm-hmm.
So the Crazies and St. Joe are going at each other, hurling insults. And then all of a sudden, Aurora's like, we're here too. And everyone says, shut the blank up. They ran the other team out of the building.
They ran them out of the building. They ran him out of, and that game was played at the UIC Pavilion.
No, that was played at Northwestern. That played in Evanston.
No, that was at UIC. 2005. 2005.
05. Yeah, 05 was.
Yep, 2005. It was supposed to be played at Northwestern.
So I think maybe it was before that I'm thinking of.
There was a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
So they quickly moved the game to UIC, downtown Chicago. And we say hi to Chris, give him a hug. He's razzing us while we're getting set up and everything. Bobby Frazier, another dear friend of us and a Brother Rice graduate, was supposed to play that game. Unfortunately, he didn't because of a back injury.
Yep.
Chris walked by me and he said, a Harrigan will show up. And walked off.
It was one of the Harrigans.
I said, what?
And then Snowman does the post-game shows for all the games.
Which I will start doing again soon.
This man snuck off to get pizza.
I sure did.
And left me and Derek to do the post-game show.
I did.
And I was like, I've never done a post-game interview before. We had to bring the coach over.
Yep.
So
and the coach at the time was Pat Richardson.
And I'm like, well, where's Brian to do the interview? Because we're not.
I was stuffing my face.
So he went. So we had to do it, and I basically just started asking questions about the Harrigans and then Adam Gregorio, who really came alive in that game.
Adam Gregorio. God, I remember.
So we come back, and Snowman comes back, sauce all over his side of his face.
I was a mess.
He said, "What happened?" And we're like, "Shut up."
Him and Victor and Derek looked at me and they were, you know what? If Derek could throw daggers from his eyes,
he would have.
27 after the hour. And we're not going to take a break. We're just going to go right into what we need to go into, if I can find it. We have to go down to North Carolina.
Yes, we do.
He is with us with a few notes of his own. Jay, how are you, my man?
What's up, guys?
So I take it that Carolina has not burned down yet.
They're a schizo team. They're likely to lose their next game.
Yeah, because for some reason, like the Carolina Panther fans that I know are losing their collective minds.
Yes, they are.
Well, they have their off this coming week, which they have the latest bye of any team in the NFL. One of the latest. This is the latest bye week this coming weekend, and then they're likely to come
forward and lose again.
Fall flat on their faces the next time they play again. That's how they are.
Because I was like,
they've been that way for a long time.
I saw a conspiracy between
go ahead, Victor,
between the Panthers and the Bears, because the Panthers just do everything to help the Bears.
Well, at least the Bears are relevant. I mean, if you guys listened to the game on Monday night last week, Troy Aikman made a notice basically saying they're irrelevant. They are.
Yeah,
because they don't consistently win.
Because I'm like, because the Panthers give the Bears draft picks, number 1 draft picks, which I think the Bears.
Well, that was dumb. That was dumb.
And then
twice
they beat the Rams, which propels the Bears further into the top seed of the NFC.
Into the top seed.
And so I'm like, is there a conspiracy between are the Bears and the Panthers just working together?
But if you're the Rams, I mean, the Rams played so well last week, and they look like they're clearly the best team, at least in the NFC. And you just go lay an egg yesterday.
A big, not as big of an egg as Lamar Jackson, because yes, Lamar, it is you.
And Matthew Stafford hadn't thrown an interception since September.
Right.
And he goes out there and
he throws one yesterday.
Yes.
And he throws one yesterday.
Didn't he have 2 yesterday?
Yeah, 2. How is that possible?
How do you blank
that
that
you
up?
go from an MVP conversation
to being Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins?
My God.
You like that? No, shut up, Kurt.
I still think they're better than the Bears, though.
Oh man, you listen. I agree with Victor's conspiracy theory about the Bears. I have two of them of my own. First of all, I think Caleb Williams listens to this program in secret.
I've been saying that.
You've been saying that the last 5 weeks. I didn't want to think about it because it's hilarious. And secondly, he's actually doing good lately.
Improving.
He is. I can't.
Can you not give a little bit of dap up to his head coach, who seems to have done a good job?
Yeah.
Not only his head coach, but his offensive line.
His offensive line looks a lot more solid. He's able to stay upright more often.
The Bears are doing something I have begged them to do for 3 years.
And that
run the ball.
They have good running backs.
They do.
They got two good. They have a pair of running backs.
And they haven't been utilized until now because of the guy who's now the doggone defensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Matt
Stupid Fools.
Stupid Fools. I mean,
I was thinking about this yesterday. There's just a case where I'm not talking about just Eberflus, but they're like Robert Saleh too, where you're a good coordinator, but you may not be a good coach.
True.
Right. Robert Saleh's doing a great job with the Niners.
Eric Bieniemy, anybody?
He's where Saleh is where he belongs.
And Eberflus is doing a really good job with the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys, but he's doing a good job.
I'll say Eric Bieniemy, everybody.
Again, y'all know I said this for a long time. All those people that whined that he wasn't getting a head coaching job somewhere. How's that working out now?
Exactly.
And Andy Reid was and is still the offensive coordinator with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's always been the OC.
Yes, he has.
He's always been the OC. Come on, now. Anybody who believes
he did that.
Anybody who believes that Eric Bieniemy called one play while he was with Kansas City is stupid.
And where is Eric Bieniemy right now? He's like somewhere.
Is he in college?
Lost somewhere.
Is he doing a college team?
Yeah, he is. But I mean,
he's languishing.
Languishing badly.
He's languishing.
He's like in hiding somewhere.
David is wrong for this.
But there were a lot of people who said he should have gotten the head coach job.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a big contention of having Eric Bieniemy be a head coach somewhere. I think at one point he was going to be a head coach.
It was that way for 2 years.
If y'all remember back to his Colorado days, he's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why
he's not a coach.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why.
That's part of the reason why he's not a head coach and never will be a head coach.
And there's another guy who's, I know he's still in the NFL right now. There are a lot of people down here who thought that Steve Wilkes should have gotten the Panthers job when he was the interim coach that year.
True.
How's that working out now? He's not. He's been bounced around all over the NFL since then.
Steve Wilkes was, and I capitalized the word was, the defensive coordinator for San Francisco.
Yeah,
he took him to the Super Bowl. Then I found out via Papa and Lund, one of my favorite shows I listen to on KNBR, Steve Wilkes has a lot of skeletons in his closet, and it filtered down to the team.
And it's obvious Shanahan did not like him. Very obvious.
No, he didn't like him. He had reasons.
But it's obvious that he and Saleh like each other. There's no question about that.
Oh yeah. And that 49er defense is coming around quick.
Yeah.
Now they get a week off to heal. They get some players back.
And they have no business being where they are. I mean, that
none
is beaten to a pulp.
Listen, we have been
still here. They are.
We have been. I will do a separate Snowman's take on this. We didn't get time today. Listen. I said at the top of the season, even with the injuries, I just hope the 49ers compete. Now they're a half game out of the out of first place in the West. Miraculously, they get a week off this week to heal, and then they get an early Christmas present, and Tennessee comes to town.
You know, I know the NFL likes to stretch out the off weeks as much as they possibly can. And I know this is the last off week for several teams.
Yep.
To me, this is too late.
It is.
You get to December, it's just too late.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question to you, Jay. In 1993, hold on. In 1993, the NFL flirted with an idea for 1 year that each team gets 2 bye weeks.
I remember they used to do that.
They used to do that. Why did they stop doing that?
Because they don't want to stretch the season any longer.
I mean,
they might have to seriously.
That's fair.
I mean, I don't care what people say. They're going to 18 games. You might as well just get.
Yeah, they are.
So why not?
And it's going to be within 2 years. It's going to be. It's going to be within 2 years that they go to 18 games. It's going to happen.
And because
that was when they expanded the schedule. Because it was collectively bargained that to get an extra game, they'd have to give up the bye week.
Yeah. But once upon a time, like I said, 93 was the only year they did this, that every team got 2 bye weeks.
Right.
And the Super Bowl wound up being played on the last weekend of January, 1994. I remember because it was my mother's birthday weekend, and God bless you, Mom. Bieniemy's running back coach for the Bears. What's that tell you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Damien, for that.
All right.
Thanks. And Victor's face just wrinkled up.
Well, no, I mean, that might be the best place for him because you look at Swift and Monangai, they're running people over. So I'm like, that might be.
Look how many jobs he's had since he left the Chiefs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Four of them, I think.
If you think about it, the same thing we said for Ron Rivera with Washington. After his magical run with the Bears as defensive coordinator, everyone said, "Oh yeah, he needs to be the coach for Washington." And how'd that work out?
Now he's the general manager for the Cal Bears.
Yes. The California Golden Bears.
The California Golden Bears. Okay.
Now,
who, by the way, is in the sorriest of sorry football conferences.
Yes. Well, Jay, speaking of, what's going on in Durham? Are they more pumped about Michigan State basketball coming to town, or are they more pumped about the ACC championship game?
Well, they're actually going to Michigan State, but in my opinion, it shows you how bad this conference is in football.
Agreed.
It's just a 7-5 team is one of your representatives in the championship.
In the championship game.
Right.
If things break right way, I mean, a lot of people don't know this. There's a new rule this year, where if Duke wins, the ACC may not have a representative in the CFP. Because it's the 4 highest ranked conference teams. Then after that, it's just anybody.
And Deeks talked about that.
And how embarrassing would that be?
Deeks talked about this earlier. About there may not be a representative in the CFP from the ACC.
I think that would be hilarious. I'd
laugh my head off.
Because Jim Phillips, who's the commissioner of the conference, whined and complained and actually got his wish last year to get 2 teams in, and they stunk up the field.
They stunk up the joint.
The wine and cheese crow.
So now the best team in the conference, I know they stumble. The best team is Miami. There's no question about that. But it looks like they have no chance, and nor should they in this conference.
What happened to Georgia Tech, man? That was my mistake.
How about the fact their AD and I guess their president was part of this too, sold out and played that Georgia game in the Dome on Friday? That was just stupid.
Right.
And I know they signed a multi-year deal to play multiple games in the Dome. I get that. But don't play Georgia in Atlanta in the Dome.
I'd swear they would play that at Bobby Dodd Stadium.
If you watch the game, it was all red.
It was. Like it's going to be all red Saturday.
Well, it's literally going to be all red Saturday with who's playing.
With Alabama and Georgia playing. And then Georgia Tech ran into a bulldog wall, and they only scored 9 points.
To me, the best two teams in the ACC are Miami and Georgia Tech.
Yes, that should be your ACC championship.
That's just my eye test.
That should be your ACC championship game.
But Georgia Tech
and Miami
choked the last couple of weeks and lost a bunch of games they shouldn't have lost.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami did that, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, whenever it was.
Yeah,
they choked.
They choked badly.
And of course, we're going to have a team who the arrogance university looks like they're going to get in. Notre Dame, I mean, because they refuse to join a conference.
Yeah, they've sealed their ticket to the college football playoff. And I said it last year, and I'll say it again this year. And MC Wars has joined us via YouTube. Tell me how this happened, that Notre Dame gets to be the wildest of the wild cards. I lost my train of thought for a moment. For 2 consecutive years, this 12-team playoff is going on.
How many other teams would have lost their first 2 games and had any chance at this? Nobody.
None.
I mean, nobody had because but they. It doesn't matter who's on any committee. They want Notre Dame in there. It's obvious.
It is. And Notre Dame.
Jay, it's like I said earlier. It used to be Notre Dame get in a conference so that you can make the playoff. Now it is these teams get out of a conference, go independent, and you have way more of a shot to get in if you're not in a conference.
But how about have the guts within NCAA to force them to be in a conference like every other team in the country?
Why won't they do that, though?
They won't do it.
Why won't they do it?
They're gutless.
Why won't they besides the fact of being gutless, why won't they force Notre Dame to be in a conference?
There's no other reason why, is they're gutless.
Because Notre Dame makes more money. Because Notre Dame makes more money than any other school. That's why. True. That's the only reason.
And that broadcast,
NBC and Peacock are paying Notre Dame out the nose
to have their games,
and they don't want to give that. They don't want to give that up.
Well, how bad do you look if you're the ACC and allow them to schedule 5 games within your conference and refuse to put them and refuse to join their conference?
Yeah, that's what Notre Dame has done.
If I were the ACC, I don't care whether it be Swofford who did this stupid deal or Jim Phillips. You either join our conference and play 8 or 9 or now 9 games starting next year, or you leave. But we're not doing this halfway stuff.
Well, that says it about all the other sports at Notre Dame. I mean, that's if the ACC made that deal because they thought, hey, if Notre Dame is in our conference for basketball, if they're in our conference for baseball, if they're in our conference for all these, maybe when the NCAA forces people to go to conference, maybe they will come to our conference.
Well,
and
they're not going to.
And they're not, but they're not thinking like we are, where force Notre Dame to do it. The NCAA is like, nah, we're not doing that.
Right.
And neither Jim Phillips nor John Swofford has the balls to do it.
True. Damian Hernandez, doggone it.
With a question.
Yes. If Ohio State wins the championship back-to-back, is Ryan Day fit for an NFL job? If not, what would it take for him to be in the NFL?
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to.
He's not leaving Columbus.
No, no way.
He's not leaving.
Why would he want to leave Columbus? He's got it made.
With the success he's having now. Yep, he's got unlimited resources. He's working off of a championship. He's the number 1 seed unless Indiana pulls an upset on Saturday. He's going to be guaranteed the number 1 seed.
I'm glad you mentioned that. But how bad is it going to look Saturday when the ACC and Big Ten championships are played simultaneously? What ratings are going to be higher than the other one?
Well, it's the Big Ten title that's going to have higher ratings.
It's not even close.
The Big Ten title is going to have higher ratings. Maybe they could compete I don't know why Georgia and Alabama's championship game has to be played at 4 in the afternoon.
They always play in the afternoon.
It's always So the SEC is always 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. I can live with that.
It's always.
I can live with that. And then who's going to watch the ACC championship anyway?
Well, not only that, the stadium's going to be at best half empty.
3/4 of the way empty.
You got a 75,000 seat stadium. You got Virginia and Duke playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when you break glass on. That's the
MC
game you break glass on.
MC Ward says Kirby Smart is the best coach in the nation, and he wouldn't leave. So I doubt Ryan Day would leave.
Ryan Day's not going anywhere.
Ryan Day is not going in. Ryan Day is set.
Well, you also look at what Ryan Day has been able to do. I mean, last year he was able to bring in Chip Kelly, a great college football coach and an NFL offensive coach.
Now he's fired.
So what does he do? So what does he do this year? He brings in Matt Patricia, an NFL defensive coach, to coach. He's not going to be able to do that at the NFL. He's not going to be able to get. And he's not going to be able to get these guys next to him that are going to be so much better than everybody else.
Right.
How'd that work out in Columbus last year? He goes to the Raiders. Goes to the Raiders and gets fired.
Yep. Well, I think a college will wind up picking him up again.
Oh, I'm sure he probably will, but still.
Now, let's get to the pair of elephants in the room. One named Lane, the other named Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin.
There's a pair of elephants in the room.
You mean the hypocrite that he is?
The hypocrite that he is, yes. Absolutely.
Oh,
Jay, I'll start with you.
He sat there Friday and told Taylor McGregor on the field that he had not made up his mind, which was a bold-faced lie.
It is.
And then he says, we'll make a decision Saturday morning. Well, that dragged on the Sunday morning. And he wanted to make a soap opera out of this.
He did.
And I bet you
lie.
And I bet you any kind of money he had his decision a month ago.
Oh, he's done for a long time. He was going there.
So you're saying that Lane Kiffin pulled a LeBron James on everybody.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to milk this everything he could. And then sat up there.
Sorry, I almost threw up there. I heard LeBron James. I'm sorry.
The typical response is, and I'm sorry if anybody out there is religious, but I'm sorry. Everybody's response, especially with the college football coaches up here, I prayed on it, and God told me I needed to go to LSU. That's bull crap.
It is.
That's just bull crap.
He's known for a long time, as you said, Jay, that he was going to LSU. Why didn't he just make it a thing just say it out loud?
He's pretty much known since Brian Kelly got fired that he was going to go to LSU.
He was going to LSU.
And he doesn't understand why one of his rival schools doesn't want him to coach in the college football playoff. And then sat up there last night and says, well, I understand why he wouldn't do it. I really do.
That's what I said. It's the decision, just like LBJ. He said, it came to me in a dream, like on the 11th hour. Like, you knew you weren't staying in Cleveland.
Man, get out of
here. Victor, why are we talking?
Because I'm bringing the likeness of both these things.
Why do we gotta talk about hemorrhoids, dude? Why do we gotta talk about hemorrhoids?
You're not listening to me, dog. I'm saying there's a commonality between these two individuals. They knew from jump they're not staying where they were.
Right.
He made a reference to his dad yesterday and said that, my dad he had 17 different jobs. Was that a badge of honor?
Right. The thing is that they knew from jump they weren't staying, but they wanted the media attention to follow them.
Yep.
So
the media was stupid enough to give it to him.
Not just the media attention. The zeros kept going on that contract. The more he pushed this thing along, another zero came at the end. At the end of that
contract. Yep.
The more he waffled, the more money he was.
The only thing that I could see why he would leave is it's because it is much easier to recruit at LSU than Ole Miss in football. There's no doubt about it.
Fair.
But
so what does Ole Miss do for a coach?
So
what does Ole Miss do for a coach going into the playoff?
They already have one.
The timing. The timing.
They moved up their OC.
Okay.
No, DC.
It's terrible.
They moved up their DC. Okay.
DC. He's already been named the full-time coach.
Oh, he has been.
Yeah, they've already announced the head coach. Yeah.
Okay. It's just.
What's the definition? What's the definition of insanity?
Pete Golding is his name. Pete Golding.
Doing the same
Pete
thing.
Golding. Congrats to Pete Golding. Listen, it just flat gets on my nerve when a coach is committed to a school and another school is flirting with him.
Right.
And he won't finish the season with his original school.
His own conference.
His own.
How much of that was a school decision, though? How much of that was a school decision?
Well, that I understand. On Ole Miss's part, I get why they don't want him to coach. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But in terms of him, why are you jumping ship to one of your biggest rivals?
Because they're paying him. Because they're paying him a lot of money.
I looked Saturday night when this was pretty obvious this is going to happen. I looked. Guess where LSU plays next year?
Ole
Miss.
In Oxford, Mississippi.
In Oxford. Oh boy,
that place will be shower garbage.
If y'all remember when he bolted Tennessee, when Ole Miss coached here a couple of years ago in Knoxville, they threw golf balls at him. If you remember.
Yes, I remember.
What do you think is going to happen next year in Oxford?
They're going to throw garbage cans at him.
They might. I think he's a great guy. I really do think he's a really good coach. But the stuff he does, it just boggles my mind.
It makes him unlikely.
This is one of them.
Like that.
This is
makes him untrustworthy, to be honest.
Yeah, it does.
It makes him untrustworthy.
Times two.
What? I mean, how long is he going to be at LSU before he jumps ship to another job?
Right.
How long?
It depends on how big the paycheck is.
How long was he at Ole Miss? 3 years?
6.
6 years.
Yeah, he was there for a long time.
6.
My God.
And then you jump ship to one of your biggest rivals.
Yep, and then you do that.
And you leave Ole Miss, which is excited as all get out in the cold.
Yep.
Just as they were going to the playoff.
He pulled the Hulk. If we don't want to,
you're the 6th ranked team in the country. You're going to the playoffs, and you're going to jump ship.
Right. If you don't want to use LBJ, then just say he pulled the Hulk Hogan and became the third man.
Became the third man. Yeah.
What you talking about, brother?
I mean, the fact that he stood behind him for 6 years, and then when they're like on the cusp, he pulls the rug on her and says, "Oops, I'm leaving."
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Napoleon with this comment: insanity is being a Raiders fan, hoping this year will be the year they win the Super Bowl.
No, that's a Cowboys fan.
You did. Shut up, Victor. You took the exact joke.
Now, I'm actually looking ahead towards what's predicted to be the playoff rankings. Ole Miss is sitting 6th. They'd be taking on number 11, which would be Virginia.
Oh God.
Well, you better hope Virginia wins Saturday, or that's not going to happen.
Trinidad, if Virginia wins Saturday, and that winds up being the matchup, Trinidad Chambliss is going to have a field day.
Oh, by the way, get this. Get this for the 5-12. Get this for the 5-12 matchup. Oregon Tulane.
Blowout. And Tulane will not have their coach either.
Nope. He's gone too.
Dear Greywigs, what are we doing?
You know what? Give me this button here.
And that's if BYU doesn't win the Big 12 championship.
Right.
Yeah.
You know why
right.
all that? You know what? I got something that'll make Jen laugh. You know why all this is possible?
We're just blaming Gold Ship for everything now.
It.
I love it.
Doggone it! If we can blame Lamar Jackson for everything, which we jokingly have done, if we can blame Aaron Rodgers for everything, which we jokingly have done also, then doggone it, I can blame Gold Ship for this mess.
well, the difference between that is
anything but training with Gold Ship.
Well, I'll put it this way: in the case between Cincinnati and Baltimore, it was Lamar Jackson's fault.
Yeah, it was. What has happened, Jay? What has happened to Lamar Jackson?
It just they were talking about this last night. I mean, it just seems like he's afraid to run now.
Right?
He's afraid to do anything in a quarterback position.
I mean, he couldn't. When you make Joe Burrow like Drew Brees.
I'm telling you guys, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Cincinnati could come back and win that division.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Because
that's the sad thing.
Pittsburgh's on a decline. You have Cleveland and Baltimore. Is
the 4-8 Bengals could win that division.
And it's not also out of the realm of possibility that the 49ers can come back and snatch the West.
No.
I mean,
it's also possible that the Cowboys could win the East.
Oh yeah,
it's a possibility.
The possibilities are crazy,
and I didn't think that was even possible.
To go back to a subject we were talking about a few moments ago, the 49ers should have been dead, gone, and buried.
And it's also extremely. This is not even possible. This is the Vikings made a huge mistake by the quarterback decision they made in the offseason.
Yep,
they did.
Yep.
Yes,
they did.
That was an embarrassment yesterday.
Well, what could be what could be funny is, and we just talked about this. If the NFL played by the same rules college football does, the Dallas Cowboys would win the NFC East.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
yes,
yeah.
Because they have the best record in the division.
Yep. And if that's the case, how about the Jacksonville Jaguars? Have the game up on Indianapolis in the division because they lost their first game in division yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
We're going from being one of the worst divisions to now it's been quite competitive, other than the sorry Tennessee Titans.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, look, they've always said they buns. They're booty. Yeah, even
they are.
Their star quarterback, the guy that they picked number 1 overall, has said, "I'm gonna keep it a buck. We're booty. We're terrible.
The Tennessee Titans are straight up
booty. They really are.
They're
really
terrible.
Are.
Oh gosh!
And they fail on every single level. Every single level.
Well, hold up. Before we get out of here, I want to address this one. Who do you guys think will win the Heisman? I think it's going to be whoever walks away on Saturday. Whoever walks out of Indianapolis.
Whoever wins the Big Ten title will be the Heisman Trophy winner. So it's either going to
be it'll either be Mendoza or it'll be Jeremiah.
We're saying.
Yep. Or Julian.
Although my pick would be Pavia, but he's not going to win.
Yeah, Pavia was buried as a Heisman contender a long time ago by no fault of his own.
He and Clark Lee both have made a terrible team a really, really good competitive team now.
Vanderbilt is going to miss Diego Pavia.
The bigger question is, does it really matter who wins the Heisman now?
No, but
no. It doesn't.
It's an irrelevant award. They made that clear last year.
Is college football going to do what they should be doing tonight, which is the deadline, by the way, and expand the playoff next year to 16 teams, which I doubt they will.
I doubt it.
Let's be honest. The Heisman hasn't come the new Grammys of the sports world.
Victor will have musings on that tomorrow. Victor have musings on that tomorrow. We got a whole bunch of more musings tomorrow. We got to get out of here. Jay Spivey joins us as he does every single Monday. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, guys.
Take care. What'd I say?
Shut up. Yes, ma'am. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. And hopefully tomorrow, I'll be back on the play-by-play live stream tour. Out. See you tomorrow. Our picks go left. Adios, pelota. See you tomorrow.
See ya.